Clara lived in a world of luxury, but her heart felt empty. Her husband Richard was incredibly wealthy and gave her everything money could buy. Their mansion in Lagos looked like a palace, filled with art and servants, but Clara felt lonely and trapped. Richard treated her like a possession, showing her off at parties and controlling every part of her life. He chose her clothes, her schedule, even her friends. Clara, who used to be full of life, felt like her dreams were slipping away. Every morning she woke up in a huge bedroom overlooking a perfect garden. The air smelled of flowers Richard liked, not her. She wore expensive clothes, ate fancy meals, and went to events where she felt invisible. But Clara wanted something real, laughter, friendship, and freedom. She longed for a life where she could just be herself. In the middle of all this wealth, there was Emeka, the gate man. But he was more than just a worker. He was a graduate with dreams and a gentle kindness. He took care of the gardens, always greeting Clara with a respectful nod and a warm smile. Emeka noticed Clara's sadness. He saw how she would linger by the gate, looking out at the world beyond her mansion. One day, Clara saw Emeka reading under a tree. She was curious. "What are you reading?" she asked. "A book on business," he said, his face lighting up. "I have plans." Clara was intrigued. Emeka had big ideas for starting an online business, but lacked the money to make it happen. Richard's control over Clara got worse. He tracked her calls, read her emails, and treated her like a child. One night, he demanded she attend a dinner party, choosing everything from her dress to her hairstyle. Clara finally snapped. "I'm not going," she said, her voice shaking. Richard was furious. He called her ungrateful and threatened to take everything away. But Clara didn't care. She packed a small bag and left the mansion, leaving the wealth and control behind. At the gate, Emeka was on duty. She looked at him, her eyes full of fear. "Can you help me?" she whispered. Without hesitation, Emeka helped her into a taxi, sending her to a small, safe apartment. Clara's new life was simple but freeing. She cooked, cleaned, and rode public transport. It was tough, but she felt alive for the first time. Emeka helped her adjust. He showed her around, taught her how to save money, and encouraged her to start fresh. They spent hours talking, sharing their dreams and fears. Clara even started a small jewelry business online, finding joy in creating beautiful things. Their friendship grew stronger. Clara admired Emeka's intelligence and kindness. Slowly, she realized she saw him as more than a friend. Richard couldn't accept Clara's escape. He froze her bank accounts, spread nasty rumors, and even targeted Emeka, getting him falsely arrested. Clara was devastated, but determined. She visited Emeka in jail, promising to get him out. While in jail, Emeka didn't give up. He wrote business plans on scraps of paper, refining his ideas. Meanwhile, Clara worked day and night to prove his innocence, gathering evidence and hiring a lawyer. She also grew her jewelry business, building a loyal customer base and earning enough to support herself. Eventually, the charges against Emeka were dropped, and he was freed. He and Clara celebrated, more determined than ever to build something meaningful together. Emeka's online business took off. His app connected local farmers directly to customers, cutting out greedy middlemen. Clara's jewelry brand flourished, and they supported each other every step of the way. Their love deepened, built on trust and mutual respect. They encouraged each other's dreams, growing together as partners in life and business. Emeka's business grew into a massive success, making him a billionaire. But he never forgot his roots. He used his wealth to help his community, build schools, and create jobs. Richard, bitter and defeated, watched Emeka's rise from afar. He tried to ruin him, but Emeka's honesty and kindness made him untouchable. Emeka proposed to Clara on a rooftop with a simple gold band. "You believed in me when no one else did," he said. "Will you be my wife?" Clara, tears in her eyes, said yes. Their wedding was a small, heartfelt celebration in a community garden. Clara wore a locally made gown, and Emeka beamed with happiness. Together, Clara and Emeka used their success to lift others. Clara's jewelry business employed local artisans, and Emeka expanded his app across Africa. They mentored young entrepreneurs and traveled to inspire others. Their story became a beacon of hope, proofs that love, integrity, and perseverance could overcome even the darkest times. One day they visited the old mansion, now a public museum. Standing in the garden where they first connected, Clara smiled. "We've come so far," she said. "And we're just getting started," Emeka replied, holding her hand as they walked into their bright future. Together, Clara and Emeka dedicated themselves to philanthropy. They started a foundation to support aspiring entrepreneurs, providing mentorship and seed funding. Clara hosted workshops on creativity and design, while Emeka taught business strategies to youth in rural areas. They personally visited struggling villages, bringing hope and resources. Clara would sit with artisans, helping them refine their craft, while Emeka set up pop-up marketplaces to connect local producers with buyers. Every success story fueled their passion, and their foundation became a catalyst for positive change. Years later, Richard's empire crumbled. He lost everything to corruption and greed. Homeless and broken, he ended up at one of Emeka's community centers. When Emeka saw him, he didn't turn him away. Instead, he offered Richard a second chance, a job and a path to rebuild his life. Richard, humbled and remorseful, accepted. He slowly transformed, learning the value of kindness and humility. Clara, though hesitant at first, eventually forgave him. She watched as he mentored young boys at the center, warning them not to repeat his mistakes. Clara and Emeka had 2 children, raising them with love and wisdom. They taught their kids the importance of compassion and hard work. The children grew up inspired by their parents' legacy, eager to make their own impact on the world. One of their children, Amara, became an environmental activist, creating sustainable farming solutions that complemented her father's agricultural platform. Their son, Kelechi, followed in Clara's footsteps, opening a design school that celebrated African culture and heritage. Emeka's app expanded globally, revolutionizing small-scale agriculture. Clara's jewelry brand became a symbol of African elegance and sustainability, celebrated worldwide. They traveled to speak at conferences, sharing their journey and empowering millions. They even worked with international charities to establish creative hubs in underserved communities, providing people with the tools to build their futures. The couple's love story and impact became the subject of documentaries, inspiring people across continents. Decades later, Clara and Emeka sat on a porch, watching the sunset. Their children and grandchildren played around them, laughter filling the air. "Do you regret leaving that mansion?" Emeka asked, squeezing Clara's hand. She smiled. "That was the best decision of my life. It led me to freedom, purpose, and you." They leaned into each other, hearts full and souls content. Their life wasn't perfect, but it was real, built on love, resilience, and the simple joy of living freely. And that, they knew, was the greatest wealth of all. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so by hitting the notification bell icon. Like, comment, and share this video. Thank you for watching.